Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Chris, and I really appreciate, as Chris mentioned, the booth was donated. We get to come here and spread the gospel on pro bono and how it helps so many underserved Americans, and we can't do it without the advisory committee. They're really, the advisory profession, it's really the lifeblood of what we do. Today I'm going to talk about three things. I'm going to briefly talk about the Foundation for Financial Planning, who we are, what we do. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to then let you hear the voices of real clients that have benefited from some of our programs. And then I'm going to talk about some groundbreaking research that we released last year, which really shows that firms benefit from pro bono, advisors benefit from pro bono, as well as all the pro bono clients who are in need. So why pro bono financial planning? Well, I don't have to tell you, often people who are in that group of Americans, that 50% of Americans who wouldn't even have $1,000 to call together for an emergency expense, these folks don't have meaningful access to ethical fiduciary advice. So at the Foundation for Financial Planning, we try to make this available to those Americans and really get out in the communities and offer free financial guidance and advice from experts. We've been around, as Chris mentioned, for about 30 years, and over that time period, we've helped almost 750,000 Americans with free financial planning and advice. We've rallied about 30,000 CFP professionals as volunteers, and we have granted out almost $10 million to help fund these programs. At the Foundation, we do three main things. One is we work with nonprofit partners to develop and fund programs across the country. So in many communities, there are active programs going on to help different underserved folks. We also recruit and train certified financial planners to become volunteers for these programs. And we have a national website called probonoplannermatch.org where we can match up these CFPs to opportunities that are posted by our nonprofit partners. And at any given time, we usually have about 50 different types of opportunities posted. And then the last thing we try to do is lead the movement to get pro bono more and more entrenched in the profession. And we do that with original research, thought leadership, media outreach, and really great partnerships with a lot of the industry's leading companies and RIAs. So on this map, you can see our current grantees, and we have our brands there. And some of them serve just general low-income folks, but others serve very special vulnerable populations, like families with cancer, domestic violence survivors, wounded veterans. So really, really a broad swath of people, but also some special focus areas of people who really, really can benefit from financial advice. We also, if you look at the green dots, we're also placing hundreds of CFP professionals at nonprofits across the country where they are helping the clients of the nonprofits. I want you to hear from a couple clients that have benefited from our program, so hopefully this video will work. Can we get the video? It's not going to work? Okay. Well, we did have a video. It is on our website, so I encourage you to check it out. It's about 5 different clients from different programs talking about the benefits they've had. And the stories are amazing. I mean, some of these folks went from a terrible debt spiral where they felt like they were drowning, they were skimping on food, they were about to lose their house, to really, really remaking their financial lives. And it didn't take that much, maybe 3-4 months working with a pro bono advisor, and some of these outcomes we're seeing are truly phenomenal. Next, I want to talk about our research report, the case for pro bono financial planning. And this was really exciting because it's the most comprehensive research ever done on pro bono in the financial advice field. And so we went out and we surveyed about 1,200 CFP professionals, and again, got an incredible response rate. On this chart, you can see we're comparing the respondents of our survey to the population of CFP professionals as a whole, and you can see it maps together really well. So we had a very, very reliable sample, and about 3/4 of the respondents had done pro bono in the past. So when we got the research results, we looked at it from 3 dimensions. The first is something you would imagine would be top of mind, and that's the moral case for doing pro bono. But we also wanted to delve into the business case and the professional development case. So I'll talk about those as well. No surprise for the moral case, virtually everyone who responded said, I mainly do this to help other people, who really could use my talents. But the other interesting thing here is we found almost 80% of advisors saying, I do it to give back to the profession. I feel like the profession has given me so much, and I feel like it's almost a calling, and I feel like more than just affluent folks should have access to this type of fiduciary advice. The business case that emerged from the respondents' answers was also really interesting. We had heard anecdotally from a lot of advisors, pro bono feeds my soul. This is why I got into the business in the first place. But what we found is about half of the advisors said they would rather work at a firm that actively encourages pro bono and that really, really supports the advisors who want to do pro bono service at the firm. Yet we found that only about 28% said their current firm does encourage pro bono. So there's clearly a gap there. And when we looked at the advisor group under the age of 35, the gap was even more pronounced. It was over 30 percentage points. So we really think for firms that want to be on the cutting edge of this issue and supporting their advisors, there's a substantial human capital advantage to be gained, especially in this war for talent when younger advisors and new entrants to the field are being highly sought after. So definitely encourage the firm leaders here to think about that. And we have a lot of resources to help firms do more in this area. We all know that the legal field is sort of considered the gold standard of pro bono. And in fact, if you run a large law firm, you have to be in the pro bono game. You can't recruit young associates from the top law firms or many law firms if you don't have a pro bono program. It's just seen as a badge of a good culture. And what we're seeing among the CFP professionals we talked to is 70% said they think financial advisory firms should become more like the law firms in their level of support for pro bono. So another interesting finding. So you may ask, well, how can a firm support pro bono? I mean, what should I do? What can a firm do? And there's really some simple things that came through in the research. One is, and it's not listed here, but it's have an executive level person who's overseeing the program. That really shows buy-in at the top levels, and even better if they themselves do some level of pro bono service. But some other things, allow some work hours to go towards pro bono. And a lot of firms already allow 8 hours, a quarter, 20 hours a year to be spent on volunteer work. So specifically say this also can be used for pro bono service. Another issue that came through is compliance. So rather than treat each request for an advisor to do pro bono as a one-off, front-run this issue so that there's a smooth pathway for advisors to get those approvals that they need from compliance. A couple other things, have partnerships with nonprofits, and we are always excited to talk to firms, so please talk to me afterwards if you're interested. We have a lot of ideas about how firms can develop in this area. And then also simple things like take notice, positive notice of advisors doing pro bono in their performance evaluations. So again, if you sort of wrap all of this into a package, already you're quite a ways down the avenue of having a good pro bono policy for your advisors. The last thing we looked at in this research was the professional development case. So we asked advisors that are doing pro bono, are you benefiting? Are you developing your skills? And what we did is we took the different specific skill areas that the CFP requires certificates to master in order to become certified. And there's different discrete topic areas. And we found that in 15 of these different principal knowledge topics, more than half of the advisors felt they had advanced their skills because they did pro bono service. So we have copies of this. It's really hard to read, I acknowledge. We also have this on our website. But you can see in these 2 slides just the amount of discrete skills that advisors say they are bolstering through this work. And the green lines are that under 35 group. So generally younger advisors feel they are gaining even more from doing this work. We also asked about soft skills, the skills that advisors can use across their careers, whether it be paid or pro bono work. And as you can see here, we found really strong majorities saying when I do pro bono, I improve my ability to do client communication. And again, that was even more intense in that younger group. They say when I do pro bono, I can relate to a much more diverse client base. And again, in that younger group, it shines through even more. And then finally, majorities say when I do pro bono, I get to encounter a lot of new issues and take on new roles as well. So again, it's a really great development in terms of skills, which benefits not only the individual advisor, but the firm as well. So as we were wrapping up this survey, we wanted to know what kinds of incentives would advisors want to see that would make it easier for them to do pro bono, that would encourage them to do pro bono. And we got really strong majorities saying that there was a whole host of things they wanted to see in order for them to feel more encouraged to do this work. And I'm happy to say at the foundation and with our partners, we are working on a lot of these different issues. One is if you go on Pro Bono Planner Match and you find an opportunity, we will give you free E&O liability insurance coverage. So we take concerns about risk off the table for you. We also have made it easy to access pro bono opportunities. We have about 150 nonprofit partners. So when you go on Pro Bono Planner Match, you'll see at any given time, about 50 different types of opportunities you can choose from. And they're everything from helping out military families and veterans to helping widows who just experienced a loss, to helping domestic violence survivors and many, many others. So there's a lot of choice. We also have a 1-hour Pro Bono 101 training. It's free. You get a CE credit. And we offer webinars, skills-building webinars to our volunteers roughly every other month. And all of those are also for CE credit. So it's all on our website, ffpprobono.org. Definitely encourage you to check it out. We also have a partnership with a compliance consultant, Market Counsel, and whenever we hear that advisors are facing some challenges with their compliance group, we add content to this FAQ and it's on our website. So any advisor should be able to use this as a tool to talk about the work they want to do with their compliance colleagues. Finally, we have created some model HR policies. So if firms want a simple turnkey solution to making sure advisors know that they support pro bono, we have a bunch of model policies you can actually plug and play and choose from. So again, these are available by talking to me. And then advisors were really happy to see CFP Board recommend that CFP professionals do 20 hours of pro bono each year. They issued that resolution last summer, and we really applaud CFP Board for that because it's so consistent with how advisors see this as not just something that they want to do to help the community, but something they feel is kind of a hallmark of a true profession. So we're really excited about the gains we're making in a lot of these areas, but we continue to try to lower barriers and bring more people into the fold. The last thing I want to leave you with is just how you can get involved, or your firms. And one is sign up to volunteer. If you're a CFP, it's free. You can go to probonoplannermatch.org, create a profile. You'll see tons of different opportunities you can pursue. A lot of them are virtual, so you can do it right from your desk. We make it really easy. The other thing is we're a charity, a 501c3. We do get the top rankings from the nation's charity ranking organizations like GuideStar and Charity Navigator. So if you're interested in our mission, we do ask you to think about supporting us with a donation, and you can do that right on our website. We also are really trying to encourage companies and firms to get involved. And we have a couple programs. One is Corporate 100. We have a lot of our supporting companies here at this conference. And we also have a new group called RIA Impact Partners. And we've gotten really amazing RIAs, a great variety at everything from huge Edelman financial engines to mid-sized firms like Abacus and Morton Wealth, and then some smaller firms like Yeski Bowie out of the Bay Area. So we really encourage, if you're interested, talk to us about getting your firm involved, and then we can come up with special programming for your advisors. We offer an e-newsletter. It's free. It's once a month. We will not clog your email box, and you can sign up for that on our website as well. So again, really hope some of you will consider joining the movement. And the last thing I'll say is if you're already working with nonprofit partners and you think that they could benefit from some of our materials, we do have a lot on how nonprofits can develop these types of programs and activate CFP professionals to help the people that they care about.
I'm not pulling you off, but we got your video. We're going to watch the video.
Oh, great. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, don't go yet.
It's a good way to end because these people are amazing, and what they've been able to accomplish with the help of their advisors is very cool. So let's
I knew it would be powerful. I didn't want to go without it, so let's wrap it. Thank you.
My name is Raven. My son was diagnosed with leukemia at the age of 3.
My name is Darren Williams, born and raised in New York City. I grew up with 17 siblings.
My name is Nora Pfeiffer, and I spent 10 years living in Bolivia.
My name is Michael Villagran, a retired veteran, amputee, single father of 3 kids.
My name is Rivka Coleman, and I'm a mom. I am also a breast cancer survivor.
First got paired with my financial planner, I was afraid that I would be judged. He wasn't judgmental at all.
This gentleman named Pat was just an amazing resource to us.
When I first met with my planner, that first day was just amazing. He talked to me and told me, hey, look, what we talk about here is between us. I'm here to help you out.
In the 6 months that I worked with Robert, he helped me to stay within my budget.
It was really an incredible journey that he brought me through. He gave me incredible pointers that I just didn't even think about.
My credit score went from poor to excellent.
I didn't really understand what net worth was. 3 months later, look, your net worth is growing. And I said, oh, it is, isn't it?
I was finally able to purchase my first home.
The best piece of advice that I was ever given was, it's okay to ask for help.
Once I had my finances squared away, it's like a big weight off your shoulders, and you can be, more at peace.
I have my own place, the great credit score. I'm going to buy a house this year.
Financial hardship comes with a cancer diagnosis. But with financial planning and dedication, you can still achieve your goals.
I'm very grateful for that pro bono service.